Not only is it featured in countless recipes, but it's also a classic part of the American breakfast, or at the very least, a must-have side dish. Bacon's popularity actually dates back centuries, to a time when people had to cure and smoke their own meat at home. These days, though, it's way easier. Just swing by the grocery store, grab a pack of pre-sliced bacon, and you're good to go. Some types even come fully cooked. Just heat them up and dig in. So, how exactly is that delicious slice of bacon made in today's modern factories? Let's take a closer look at the pork processing line and see for ourselves how ordinary cuts of meat are transformed into the crispy, smoky strips we all know and love. Bacon, that perfectly balanced combo of meat and fat, cured to savory perfection, delivers a rich, mouth-watering flavor that's pretty much irresistible. The journey to create those delicious bacon strips starts with high-quality pork belly, carefully selected from over 63,000 farms across the United States. At these farms, pigs are raised in clean, well-ventilated environments under strict hygiene standards. Their health is monitored 24/7 using advanced technology, so any unusual signs can be detected right away. On top of that, routine vaccinations help keep the animals healthy and growing strong. Throughout the entire process, pigs are fed a nutritious diet packed with grains, vitamins, and minerals to ensure their well-being and proper development. Once they've reached the ideal weight and size, they're transported in specialized trucks to modern processing facilities. Once the pigs are cleared as healthy and meet all the standards, the slaughtering process officially begins. One of the first steps? A high-temperature flame treatment. Not only does it remove any remaining hair on the skin, but it also gives the meat that signature smoky aroma, laying the foundation for bacon's iconic flavor. Next, skilled butchers step in to break down the carcass, carefully separating each part. Different cuts are used for different products, but when it comes to bacon, the stars of the show are the belly and side sections. These parts have that perfect balance of lean meat and fat, giving bacon its rich, juicy texture without being too dry. The large slabs of meat are then trimmed into uniform rectangular blocks. Any tough rib bones are removed during this step. After the initial prep, the meat goes into a high-temperature oven. This heat softens the meat and helps loosen the outer skin, a crucial step in crafting quality bacon. Removing the skin not only makes the final product more tender and easier to eat, but it also allows seasonings and flavorings to penetrate more evenly during the curing process. At this stage, workers line up the meat slabs neatly, feeding them into a specialized machine. In just under 2 seconds, the machine strips away the outer skin. But since every cut of meat varies slightly in size, shape, and texture, the machine isn't always perfect. That's why there's always a team of workers at the end of the line, ready to inspect each piece by hand, trimming off any leftover skin or excess fat if it's too thick. The removed skin then drops onto a separate conveyor belt. It doesn't go to waste. It's turned into crispy pork rinds, a popular snack with a satisfying crunch. After the initial prep, the meat gets a thorough salt rub on all sides. This step doesn't just help eliminate any gamey or off-putting odors that come with fresh pork. It also acts as a natural preservative, extending the shelf life of the bacon for up to 3 months. Next, the salted meat is left to rest for about an hour. During this time, the salt slowly draws out moisture from the surface, making the meat drier. That's a key part of the process, because when it's eventually fried or baked, the drier surface helps the bacon crisp up nicely and develop that beautiful golden color. Plus, the salt adds another layer of bold, savory flavor that makes bacon so crave-worthy. Once the curing is done, the meat gets a rinse to wash off any excess salt. From there, each piece is carefully hung on stainless steel racks and left to air dry completely. The final prep step before the real magic begins. The seasoning stage, where bacon's signature flavor truly starts to come to life. Next up in the process is curing, a time-tested method that's been used for centuries to preserve meat. Before refrigerators were a thing, curing was the go-to way to keep meat from spoiling. This method uses a mix of salt, sugar, and sodium nitrite to not only preserve the meat, but also lock in its signature flavor. That said, sodium nitrite has sparked some controversy over the years, since excessive amounts may increase the risk of certain health issues, including cancer. But here's the deal. A controlled amount of nitrite is still essential. It helps maintain the natural flavor, prevents unpleasant odors, and slows the growth of harmful bacteria, keeping the product safe and fresher for longer. To kick off the curing stage, specialists prepare a custom brine solution made of salt, sugar, sodium nitrite, and a few coloring agents. This blend gives the bacon its irresistible flavor, appealing color, and longer shelf life. Instead of soaking the meat in brine, the old-school way that takes forever and doesn't always guarantee even seasoning, modern factories take a much more efficient approach, injecting the curing solution directly into the meat. With a series of tiny, super-sharp needles, the solution is pumped deep into the muscle fibers, allowing the flavor to spread evenly from the inside out. Not only does this speed things up, but the micro-punctures also help break down the meat's structure, making it more tender and easier to cook. That's one of the secrets behind bacon's bold flavor and perfect texture. After the injection, a layer of refined brown sugar is sprinkled over the meat. This helps draw out any remaining moisture, balances out the saltiness, and adds a subtle sweet note that rounds out the flavor beautifully. Once the curing process is complete, each slab of pork belly gets hooked onto a metal rod called a comb, which allows the meat to hang neatly on a rack. When fully loaded, each rack can weigh anywhere from 2,600 to 3,000 pounds. The meat hangs suspended with equal spacing between the pieces, making sure air and smoke can circulate evenly around every slice. Next, the racks are rolled into the smokehouse. The goal here isn't to cook the meat. It's to infuse it with that deep, smoky flavor bacon is known for. To make that happen, the temperature is carefully controlled by adjusting the amount of burning wood. Just enough to create smoke, but not so much that it cooks the meat. The bacon stays in the smokehouse for 3 full days. During that time, the heat and smoke are pushed to the highest safe levels. This is when the flavor really starts to develop. Liquid smoke clings to the surface of the meat, not only adding that signature aroma, but also giving it its beautiful golden brown color. That mouth-watering look you instantly recognize when you see a perfect slice of bacon. After the smoking process is complete, the meat is taken out of the smokehouse and left to cool completely. This cooling step doesn't just help lock in the flavor, it also firms up the meat, making it easier to slice and handle later on. From there, the bacon slabs move to the trimming station, where they're quickly and precisely cut into perfect rectangular blocks, the ideal size for cold storage. Each piece then passes through a metal detector to make sure there are no leftover fragments from the metal racks used earlier in the process. And now we've reached the last stage in the journey to creating the perfect slice of bacon: slicing and packing. The fully smoked and chilled slabs are fed into high-tech industrial slicers. But these aren't your average meat slicers. They're programmed to scan the size and shape of each slab and automatically adjust the blades to produce perfectly thin, uniform slices every time. The blades run at incredibly high speeds, slicing hundreds of pieces in just a few seconds. And despite the speed, each slice comes out clean and intact. No tearing, no uneven edges. Once sliced, the bacon falls neatly onto a conveyor belt below, where the slices are carefully stacked layer by layer. A second conveyor picks them up and moves them to the packaging station. Here, an automated system quickly wraps the bacon in specialized vacuum-sealed packaging, the kind that keeps air and bacteria out while locking in freshness. The entire process, from slicing to final packaging, is lightning fast and incredibly precise, all to make sure those perfect strips of bacon are ready to hit store shelves in peak condition. Over on a separate line, there's a whole system dedicated to producing fully cooked bacon. After being thoroughly cooked in the oven, the crispy slices are taken out and sent straight to quality control. Here, a trained inspector carefully checks each slice, removing any that are damaged or don't meet the standards. The approved slices are then carried by conveyor to portion trays. An electronic sensor counts the exact number of bacon slices going into each pack. Finally, the slices are neatly arranged and carefully packaged, ready to head out to consumers. And that's the full journey behind those delicious bacon strips you know and love. So next time you're frying up a crispy slice, you can impress your friends by saying you've seen exactly how it's made. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and share it with fellow bacon lovers. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more tasty discoveries. See you next time.